Welcome back to the Teacher's AI Cafe. I'm Kane, a teacher and a parent who wants AI to give us back our time. I share practical classroom-tested AI strategies to cut down your workload, improve your feedback and reduce stress so you can get your evenings back and be more present with your friends and family. No jargon, just actionable steps. Grab your mug. Now let's get going. This week delivered one of the biggest AI platform updates for the year so far, though it is only March, being March the 9th today. The release of ChatGPT 5.4 comes out as a significant upgrade to what came out previously. So the most interesting feature for educators in this new is the new thinking plan. So when the model tackles complex requests, it can outline its approach before producing the final answer. I think this is really good. The old show your thinking type arrangement. In practical terms, this allows teachers to intervene early. For example, if you ask ChatGPT to design a lesson sequence or summarize an historical document you set, you can adjust that structure before it actually completes the response and fine-tune it, saving you a bit more time. It does mean you've got to pay attention to what it's doing. You can't just set and forget and then come back and modify it. But like I said, the opportunity is there, particularly if you're working on actively as it goes through. Another big improvement of the model is the ability to handle now extremely long documents. With the context window approaching 1 million tokens, basically it's going to allow you to analyze very large research collections, things like extended curriculum documents, entire units of work in a single prompt, whereas before it couldn't handle that amount of characters. And for teachers who work regularly with, lengthy syllabus materials, you've got a lot of content, and you want to put in things like academic articles, historical sources. This could hopefully streamline your prep time because you're doing it all in a single prompt or discussion at one time, which is an interesting thing. I was looking at a lot of people jumped over to Claude for ethical reasons, but they're apparently using up their limits very quickly in Claude compared to the way ChatGPT works and how they calculate things. Interesting point. The other thing that came out for ChatGPT is there's an now version for Excel. So instead of obviously dropping spreadsheet data into a chatbot, now you can put it inside Excel itself with basically a plugin to interpret the datasets, formulas, and explain patterns within the spreadsheet. And I think that's actually really handy. I use Excel a lot to do analysis, and often I do put it in there, so I can now do it in Excel. So I'm looking forward to that particular feature. And this will just speed up my timeline, my process doing that. So once again, the competition between the different platforms is intensifying. Like I said, the ability to now export or your chats and move to other platforms is really opening up those opportunities. Anthropic, which is Claude's maker, expanded its memory capabilities in Claude, even for its free users to act so that basically you can have a long-term conversation memory. And Claude does a bit different because it'll often scan the entire chat each time, hence why people are hitting their limits quicker if you've got a very big chat. But this allows the system to remember preferences and recurring information over time better than what other platforms actually do. So in this case, it could make your AI assistant gradually learn the context of your classroom or your curriculum focus a lot faster and a lot easier than different platforms. What's another development? GitHub Copilot, which is Copilot, now includes Groks. If you didn't know, GitHub is actually owned by Microsoft, but now you can put the Grok coding model as part of the automatic model selection if you want to use that there. So this development, I guess increasingly students in computing classes using these tools now can interact with more than one AI model within the same tool, giving them choice they find depending on the projects, which one gives you the best results. And creates opportunities in the classroom around discussion how different systems solve the same problem. And that's very relevant in all systems, even AI. And before finishing up today's update, one unusual story from the research community provides a reminder that AI adoption always carries risks. Some security researchers recently demonstrated large-scale prompt injection attacks hidden in web content. Remember I spoke about this before, you're using AI tools to actually go out onto the web. The idea of injection attacks is they can actually inject malicious code actually into your program there through different websites. So these attacks can manipulate AI tools. So when you click, say, summarize button or similar features, the researchers found that this data can actually be loaded into. So as always, treat AI outputs critically. Always your expert opinion. Verify your sources just as you would with any other research. But When you look at this, these incremental changes, like I said, talking about Claude, people are moving for ethical reasons over to Claude, and that's absolutely fine. There's lots of different AI platforms out there. And I just reiterate, there's no one best model or best platform, simply because they're always developing new updates, competition, features compared to the competitors to try and get that natural advantage. Therefore, why one might be as good now, next week a new release may come out and it'll leapfrog the one you're thinking of shifting to. Like I said, find one you actually prefer, find one that actually does the job for you, stick to it, learn it the best that you can. All the advice I give really is applicable to every single platform when I do my activities, because they, at the core of them, they do essentially do the same thing, just in slightly different ways. So till then, keep up the good work. If you want to come on and talk about your AI journey, drop me an email. Till then, look after yourself.